Welcome. Let's begin with calendar module. It provides useful calendar function and classes. It outputs calendar as a cal program in Unix. So in calendar module, Monday is the first day of the week, but we can make any other day as the first day of week. Okay. Calendar function and classes uses Gregorian calendar, which can be extended in both direction infinitely. Okay, so let's check the attribute of calendar module. So these are the day of the week. So Monday is represented as 0, Tuesday is 1 up to Saturday, and Sunday is represented as a value of integer 6. Okay, and these are the only two attributes for the month, January and February, represented as a value of int 1 and 2. And m days will return the days in month, like for 31 for January, February 28, and so on. So if we execute the all of the attribute, we should get this value. So we'll import calendar module as cal, and we will access each of these attribute. So as we can see here, Sunday is represented with value 6, Monday with 0, and so on. Yeah. Now move on to the functions of calendar module. First is a first weekday. It returns the value of a first day of a week. So by default, it should be Monday, which should be 0. Okay. But we can set it to any other day using set first day, and inside it we can provide the value of a week of the day, which will make by default the first day of week. Okay. So we can provide calendar dot set first week to the any attribute, in this case attribute can be used as a constant, which will provide the integer value for that day. So Sunday it will return value 6, which is this. So both of these are same. Either you set 6 or you can use that attribute Sunday. Okay. So let's see the output. So before changing the first day of week, it was Monday 0, but after setting the first day of week, it becomes 6, which is Sunday. Is leap year, which will return true if the given year is leap. It takes only one argument as a year. So as you can see, 2020 is a leap year, 2021 is not. Next method is leap days. It returns the number of leap days between start year and the end year. Okay. So if you want to check with leap days between 2000 and 2020, so 5 leap days between these years. Next method is weekday. Returns int representing day of the week, 0 for Monday and 6 for Sunday. So suppose we have a date which is having year, month, and day of month. Okay, and we want to look for the which day it was on that day. Okay, so on the 22nd March 2020, we know that it was Sunday, but if we don't know, we can use this weekday. It will return integer representing day of week. So it returns 6, which is Sunday, and 23rd is Monday, so it returns 0. Weekheader returns weekday's name with given n length. Okay, so if we'll execute, it will return day of weeks in header. So if we provide length as a 3, it will represent each day of week as a 3-letter word. And if we provide more length, it will return as a fully week of the day of week. Next is a month range. Returns the tuple representing week of the day and first day of the month. Okay, so if we execute it, it will return. Suppose we want to know the March 2020, so it will return first is a weekday of the first day of the month, which is 6, which means it begins with the Sunday, and second is number of days in a month, which is 31 for the March. Okay, so it is written inside tuple. So if we check for February, because it is a leap year, it will return 29 and it began with the 5th day of, means the Saturday. So if we check it here, as we can see here, it began with Saturday. Next is month calendar. Returns the list of week of a month for a given year. Each week represent a list containing int day of the month and list index of a week representing day of the week. So if we execute it, as we can see, it returns a list containing list of a week and each week representing day of a month. Okay, so it will return list of week. So at the end of the week, in order to complete the week, or at the beginning of the week, it will append 0 to match the length. Okay, as the March began with the Sunday, which we have set the current first day of the week, it has begun with the first date. But if we set for suppose print for the February, which began with the Saturday, so in that week we can see it will append 0 at the front. Next is a calendar. Returns the multi-line string representing 3-column calendar for a year. Okay, so suppose we want it to calendar, see it is same as a Unix cal function. Okay, so cal.calendar will print the calendar with a 3-column, which means it will print 3 months in a single row. But we can provide other optional parameter. WLC is a width of column, lines per week, and space between month. Okay, so we will give the width of column to 2, lines per week 2, and spaces between month as a 1. So as you can see, it will take 2 lines. Okay, and it is only taking only 2 width column. If you want to increase it, we can make it to the 4. So it will take more width for the single column. Okay, so as you can see here, it will spread out. Okay. Next is month. It will return multi-line string for the given month of a year. So we will provide 2020 and March. it will give us the calendar for the given month. We can also provide the width of the column and lines per week. Okay. As you can see, it will print with the space. Next is weekday. Returns the int representing weekday for a given day. So we have a date and we want to see which day weekday was on that day. So it should return Sunday. So it is 6. Next method is print calendar. It will print the calendar of a given year. Okay. It will print whole calendar. It takes 4 optional argument WLCM. So this is the width of the column, L is a lines per week, C is a space between month, and M is a months column. So by default months column is 3, but we can modify it to print only 2 months per column. Okay, so it will give us more space. Okay, this is a 2 lines per week, and column width is 3. We can also print only 1 month in a single column, so it will look like this. Next is print month, prmonth, which will print the given month of a year, and WR width of column and lines per week. Okay, so by default it will print like this, but we can spread out with the given space. Okay, we can also increase up to 10 also. Oh, sorry. Then it will print whole weekday. Okay, up to 8. At least we can, at least it will need 9 to print the whole weekday. Next method is timegm, which will return timestamp for a time.struct time. Okay, so this also we saw in the datetime module. If we have a struct time which is written by the time.gmt time, gm time, or the local time. So struct time will look like this, and if you want to convert to the timestamp or epoch now, we can do it with the calendar.timegm. Okay, so these are the functions of a calendar module. Calendar module have calendar class also. So let's check the calendar class. So we can import calendar class from the calendar module using from calendar import calendar class. Okay, so this is the constructor for the calendar class, which takes only one optional argument, which is the first day of a week, which takes integer argument, and its value is same as we saw in the beginning, 0 for Monday and 6 for the Sunday. Okay, so this is the only attribute of a calendar class, which is a first day of a week, which will return first day of a week, which is set to the calendar when creating a calendar object. Okay, so let's create the calendar object. So by default, if we don't provide any argument to the calendar constructor, it will make Monday as a first day of week, and if we provide any day of a integer between 0 to 6, it will take that day of a week as a first day of a week. Okay, and then we will check the first day of a first weekday attribute on both of the calendar object. As we can see, if you don't provide it, it will take as a Monday as a first day of week, and if you provide any day, it is taking that day. Next method is get first weekday, which will return same as the first weekday attribute, which is the day of a first day of a week, which is set on the constructor. Set first weekday will set the given integer as a first day of a week on the calendar object. So if you provide, we can provide calendar dot Sunday or any other weekday attribute we have saw, or any integer value between 0 to 6. So if we check it, as we can see, after setting it, it changes the first day of week. First day of a week matters when we are printing the calendar. Okay. So calendar class provide iterator to iterate over the calendar. So we can iterate over a year, month, or week. Okay. So let's see the iterators. So first is a iterator of a weekdays. So return iterator which will iterate through the weekdays. So up till now we haven't introduced for loop, but we will see the for loop in detail in a next section, next section. So for now we will just look it into the overview of it. Okay. So first we'll create two calendar object which is having different first weekday. First is a Monday and second is Sunday. Okay. And we will iterate through each day of a week in the iterator weekday, and we will print the day. Okay. So for each day in iterator of weekdays, we will print the day. Okay. So as we can see, it will iterate through from the first day of a week up to the last day of a week. In it will return the day of week in integer. Okay. So second will begin with the Sunday, Monday, and up to last day. Next is iterate month dates. So it will return date time dot date object for each day of a given month and a year. So for each day in iterator of a month date for the March 2020, it will return day, and we will also print the type of day for both objects. Calendar 1 and calendar default also. Okay. So this is default calendar. So let's first print for the default. So it will begin from the Monday. Okay. So Monday of a first Monday of a previous week. So suppose this is the March, and March will begin with a Sunday. So it will go 1 month backward, and it will start from the first Monday. Okay. So Monday is on 24th. Okay. So it will begin with the last Monday of a 24th up to the Sunday, which is the given month. Okay. But if we provide Sunday as a first week, it will begin from the first day Sunday, because March is beginning with the Sunday. It will not print any extra date from the previous month, but it will extend up to this April 4th. So let's check out. As we can see, it will start with a Sunday because that is the first day of a week. But if we check the end, it will end at a 4 because that is the end of the week, as we can see in the calendar here also. Next is a iterator of a month days, which will return iterator of int representing date of the month. So it will return, instead of date time dot date, it will return an integer day. Okay, so same as that, we'll only consider for the Sunday as a first day. So it will start with the first day, which is Sunday, up to the 31st, and to complete the week it will add 0 to the end or the beginning. Okay, same as that. For that, if we print for the second month, as we can see, it will begin from the 0. Okay, next is iterator of a month day 2, which will return tuple of date and day of week. Date is integer and day of week also integer. Okay, so instead of returning only integer, it will also return the day of week, which is Sunday. It will be the 3rd March 2020 begins with first day is a Sunday, and we have also created the calendar object, which is having first weekday as a Sunday. So it will be always begin with the Sunday. Next is iterator month days 3, which will return tuple object of a year, month, day for the given month and year. Okay, so we'll print the same. As you can see, it will return tuple containing 3 integer, year, month and day, and it will also append or prepend the dates in order to complete the given week. Okay, but with this, it completes the week even spanning to the other month. Okay, earlier we saw that it was appending zeros, but it will return a real date. So this was appending at the end of it. We will check with the February, which will prepend the January in order to complete the length of it. So 26th January must be the Sunday. Okay, as you can see, 26th January is a Sunday because it is having, for that week is having Saturday. Okay, as a 1st of February. Next is a iterator month days 4, which will return tuple object of year, month, day and day of week. It is just adding one more integer to it. Next is a monthdatescalendar. Iterate over list of iterator of list, each list containing 7 date time object representing a week. Okay, so this will have a list of list, and each list having 7 date time object representing a week. Okay, so if we take it monthdatescalendar, for the 3rd of March it will return in weeks. Okay, so let's execute it. As we can see, it will return a list containing the days of a week. Okay, as you can see, for the February it is also beginning with the same as per the given first day of a week. Next is a month day to days to calendar. Returns iterator of list, each list having 7 tuple date and day of week. instead of date object, it will return tuple containing date and the day of week. Okay. Monthdayscalendar, which will return iterator of list, each list representing 7 integer only. So if we print, it will only contains integer 7 integer per list representing a week of that month. Yeardatescalendar, which will return date object of a given year. Okay. So if we print, execute it, it will return list of list containing the date object for the whole year. Okay. List object containing in this format. Okay. So first is a list of year. Inside the list there is a list of month. Inside list of month there is list of week, and inside that list of week 7 date object representing a week. So if we check it again, as we can see here, this is a list of a week. Okay, 1 week, and if we continue until the second here, so it will, this becomes the month and year, so on. Okay, so this is a list inside list inside list. Okay, now we can iterate through each week. Because they are list inside list, we can unfold with the for loop. Okay, so first we will loop for the year's dates calendar with the year. Inside year we will loop through each month. Inside month we will loop through each week. So it will print a list of week, list of daytime object for each week. As we can see, we can iterate through the list of each week using for loop. Okay, same way we can iterate through each day. We just need to add one more loop which will iterate through each day of a week. So if we print that day, and its type will be date time dot date. As you can see, we can iterate through each day of the year using this loop. Okay, so this is a year date calendar will provide in this format. Okay, same way year days calendar will return integer instead of date. Okay, everything else remains same. Format is same. We can iterate through each week using same loop, which will return list of integer, and same way we can use days to iterate through each day of a year. Okay, next method is year to calendar, which will return tuple object instead of int, and each tuple object containing day of month and day of week. Okay, in a same format, but it will contain tuple objects. So this is the day of month, because 0 which means it was a previous month, not this month. So it is beginning with this, and day of month will be Wednesday. Okay, so it begins with Sunday. Same way we can iterate through each week using same for loop, and each day by appending the day in the previous for loop. Okay, Next topic is text calendar, which is used for generating plain text calendar. Okay, so we have to import a text calendar class, same as calendar class. We will import it from the calendar module, which is from calendar import text calendar, and it takes one argument same as a calendar, first day of a week, which is integer representing 0 as a Sunday and 6 as a 0 as a Monday and 6 as a Sunday. Okay, so it is a subclass of a calendar class. How we can prove it? So for that, is subclass is method, and the first argument of this method is the target class, which we want to check is a subclass or not, and next argument is a parent class. Okay, so we want to check text calendar is a subclass of a calendar is not or not. Okay, so if we can check, if we check it, it will return true. So now what are the methods? So it is a subclass, so it will inherit all the methods of a calendar class. So we want to find out what are the methods which are different with the calendar class. So we will take a dir and we'll convert it that into the list into the set, and we'll take the difference of both set. So we can get the methods which are new to the text calendar class. So we will only look these methods in this section in the text calendar class. All the other methods which are inherited from the calendar class will remain the same for this class also. Okay, so if we take dir for text calendar, we can see that these are the all methods common which we saw for the calendar class, which can also be invoked on this class. Okay, so we will focus on this difference part of it. Okay, and this is a difference between calendar and the text class. So all the methods are inherited. Okay, so we'll see the only difference part of it. So first different method is formatmonth, which returns the string containing month's calendar, which is same as a calendar in a Unix. Okay, so we'll take a text calendar object and we'll print format the month. As we can see, it will, if we don't provide any argument, it will month's day will begin with Monday, and if we provide first day of week as a Sunday, it will begin with the Sunday. It takes optional argument. W is a width of column and L is a lines per week. So in order to give out space, as you can see here, different argument with the different space. So this is taking, suppose you want to print the same, which is having width of a column as a 5 and 2 lines per week. It is having only 1 lines per week. So these are having 2 lines per week, as you can see here, and its columns width will be 5. Okay, next method is formatyear. It returns the calendar for a whole year. Okay, so if you execute it, it will return for a whole year. So it takes 4 optional argument, same as we saw earlier for the calendar module. Width of the column, lines per week, space between month and month column. Okay, so we can give those different argument to it, and according to it, it will print. Okay, this is a 1 column and this is 2 column. Okay, Next method is printyear, which will print the calendar written by the formatyear. Okay, so this is a 2020. This is the width, lines per week. Okay, spaces between month and month column. So this is the same written by the formatyear. Print month, which will print the month written by the formatmonth. Okay, so which is having same argument. And print week will be print the given week written in the list. As we saw iterator, which returns the list of days in a week, we can print that week using print week function. Okay, so if you print it, it will print it continuously those days without breaking it to the new line. Okay, so same as we saw the iterator, so which iterates over the year 2020, and if you use print week, it will automatically print a given week without separating it to the new line. As we can see here, it will not separate it. We have to manually give the line separator in order to separate it. Okay, so as we can see, if we separate it, it will print just like a calendar without any header. Okay. Next method is formatweekheader. Returns a string containing week header with the given width. Okay, so this will try to print the week days in 2 length, 5 length and the 9 length. Okay, this is a text calendar. As we can see, in the 2 length, 5 length and the 9 length. Same width we can pass to the print week function, which will adjust the width to the header. So we can print selected weeks, days or some other format. Okay, custom format we can be print using loops. Okay, next is a format week, which will return single week formatted string without breaking a line. Okay, so it will print only the dates. Okay, next is a format day, returns the single day formatted string without breaking the line. So it will return the string and we want to print as it is without breaking line, because we are printing multiple days. Okay, so it will only return the day 1, 2, 3. Okay, it takes 2 argument day and the weekday of that day particular and the width of the day to be printed. Next method is format weekday. Takes 2 argument weekday and the width. Okay, so we want to print Sunday with given width, so we can do this. This is represented with 2 width, 3, 5 width and 9 width. Next method is format month name, which returns formatted string for a given month name and a given year with the given width. Okay, so let's execute it. Takes 2 argument, year and the month and the width. 3 arguments are mandatory. So let's execute it. TextCalendar dot format month name. As we can see, it will return month name and a year, and one optional argument with year true by default. If we return it false, it will only print the formatted string of a given month. Next topic is local text calendar. Okay, so this is the constructor of a local text calendar class, which takes two arguments, which first is a first weekday, which is by default 0 is Monday, and next argument is a locale, which is the locale in which the calendar should be printed. So this is a localization of a calendar, okay, which returns an object of a local text calendar class. Okay, same way as a text calendar, we can import that class from the calendar module. From calendar module, import local text calendar. Okay, and inside it we will provide, both arguments are optional, but we will set a different locale in order to print calendar in a different locale. Okay, so this is how object will be created. Okay, now next is local text calendar is a subclass of a text calendar. So hierarchy wise, if you look it, the calendar is a first, then text calendar is a subclass of a calendar class, and a local text calendar is a subclass of a text calendar. So local text calendar will inherit all the methods from the text calendar. So let's check, is it true that local text calendar is a subclass of a text calendar? If it is true, then it by default also it makes the subclass of a calendar class also, because calendar is a parent of a text calendar. Let's execute. As you can see, it returns true. Now let's see what are the methods new to the local text calendar class. So if we subtract a set, it will return none. So there is no new method for the local text calendar. Wait, so what's the difference between the two classes? That's the only thing is locale. Locale is the argument. So as per the locale, it will print the output or return the formatted string. Okay, so any of the function which we saw earlier with the calendar or a text calendar class, which will its output will be automatically converted to the given locale. Okay, so if you are using any Unix system, you need to check locale in the terminal using locale -a, okay, which will return all the local which are installed on your machine. Okay, and in order to install, if for this tutorial, if your local machine has not installed this locale, you can insert it using this. Okay, and after generating, you need to update the locale. Okay, and after that you need to again check whether that locale is in your list. If it is there, then you can use that locale to print the calendar into the locale. So you need to restart the console, okay, after installing locale to take effect the current changes. Okay, and we will restart the Python console again. Okay, and we will construct the two local text calendar. First one is in ENUS and second one is FR, France. Okay, and we will print a current month of, let's say, March. Okay, for the both locale, and let's see the output. As you can see, all the strings are converted to locale, okay, for the given locale. So this is how you localize the calendar. That brings us to the end